Hi, and welcome to the first episode of the Myriad Artifact Sect. I'm Icon, and we're going to play some Immortal Mode today. So after I have accidentally deleted the save file for the Alchemy Sect, which was my predecessor Immortal Mode project, I finally had the stomach again to face Immortal Mode one more time, and I've rolled up a new sect. We're going to focus into the artifact creation because I always wanted to have a sect which starts out with the Myriad Artifact Law to have some fun with artifact fighting in general. So that's the plan for this one. We're just playing with basic tribulation. No, basic tribulation, the basic immortal settings. I don't know if I can check them out anyway. Ah, here, difficulty. So I didn't enable any of the extra immortal challenges yet. We're going to get there one day. I checked them out before I started out this run. I had some ideas, but I figured that I want to check out Immortal Mode successfully once before I make it harder. We're also playing on a canyon map. For everyone who's interested, here's the map seed. So I'm gonna put that into the description box as well. Canyon because I wanted to have a huge amount of stone around me. This is pretty good in Immortal Mode because stony areas can spawn ancient caskets. Ancient caskets, when opened by lucky cultivators, can drop advanced laws. And advanced laws are really hard to come by. So our starting characters here, I rolled them up. They're all with a chi sense of 30 or above. Nothing extremely out of the ordinary. I managed to roll up one cultivator with a... Oh no, I didn't manage to roll up a single cultivator with a luck above 5 with these chi sense ratings. I was rolling for about 15 minutes and then I was okay. Then it has to be luck 5. So in case you were ever wondering, luck 5 is a pretty high stat. It is on the upper end of the scale. The stuff you can roll. 6 or 7 is already quite rare. Okay, so Immortal Mode means that everything is a lot harder. We do face harder tribulations, the combat is harder, the survival is harder, which means plants grow slower, and we are hungrier, people are suffering from bad mood quicker, so Immortal Mode is always a lot of a hassle in the early game. Okay, so we're going to start out with the materials we got. We got a tiny amount of timber. We got 1 axe, so let's see. 1 logger. That's Junju. Give her that. So we need to put up the basics. I've done that several times, but it never grows old on me. So we're going to put up the bonfire here, and as usual, all the mods I'm using will be found in the description box down below. I am using a couple of quality of life mods to make things easier. People who were watching my previous series already know what I'm using. The only real new thing that has joined the fray is the City Event Helper, a mod which shows you which solution to take for the charity events and the agencies. Okay, so we settled. Wonderful. So first things first, we need a timber station ASAP. And we need to chop down some trees. And so go. I want a roof above their heads by the end of the day. Good stuff here is... Oh, wait a sec. I don't need to chop, actually. The mysterious cultivator already did for me. So C2 June, you're building? Wonderful. Okay. Early game is a very, very fragile phase of Immortal Mode. People can die so friggin' fast here. It's insane. I've lost a lot of people early on in Immortal Mode due to just derping out their basic needs. I can't put it into any other words. So we need a well, and we need a dormitory. By now, I'm using a blueprint for these. So here, my beginner barrack. It's entirely timber. Provides room for 4 people. Nice thing. Here we go. Next thing I want to do on top of that is a handcraft station, because I really don't like the feeling that we ain't got no weapons at all. But apart from that, we can't do much more than... Oh, shoot. I totally misplaced that well. Okay. So we need a lot more timber here and all manner of other things, but we should be fine. A nice place to sleep is very important for your people early on. Everything else can wait. The next thing then is water and food. And then weapons to fight off the wildlife. I'm not promoting somebody into the inner disciple state yet, because I got the mysterious cultivator to protect my people from outside attacks, and right now I prefer 3 people working at once. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. The law we got here is enabling the sect to produce good artifacts from the get-go. So that means our artifact fighters will be quite powerful, which should be enhancing our chances of survival in the Immortal Mode by a lot. Because I never got deeper into Immortal Mode yet. It was always something else kicking me out of the water. Either my horrible decisions with the overworld events, or just deleting my save files accidentally while saving another game. There's always been something. Okay, we can speed this up, I think. So, the next thing we need will be the handcraft station, and we got ourselves a new home, it says. Okay. Hard to believe. Alright. But the beds seem to be finished, and the only thing we haven't finished yet is the handcraft station, but that's okay. Guess they will do that tomorrow. I'm quite okay with the decision to do the well before everything else. So Canyon is full of mountains, which is super awesome. It's one of my favorite maps in general. You guys, oh, that's just the bonfire. Whew. I was a little bit scared for a moment that my house is on fire. I think I didn't place that blueprint on a too preferable spot. Anywho. Not too horrible. Okay. So we will run low on food very, very soon. And in this environment, there's not too many things which you can't hunt. So since we seem to have established ourselves, I'd say it's about time to introduce the first person into cultivation here. So let's see. I'd like to have a disciple for the Grand Chariot. So we're going to need perception and intelligence and constitution. Let's see who's going to be the best candidate for that. So these two. I'm going to use C2 June first, because I want to introduce Nanyun later into the Myriad Artifact Law. And C2 June is going to be the first cultivator, and in my gameplays it's always like that. The first cultivator is always the crap cultivator. Sorry to say it like that, but it's always the person which I will rush the Golden Core breakthrough, and which it's always the person which ends up being the weakest cultivator to begin with, and always the first cultivator to be reborn again. So let's do this, because I want to start adventuring as quick as I can. So we're going to eat that forming pill. The forming pill is going to fill up the... Yo, dude. Ah, here. I had the wrong person selected. The forming pill is filling up the foundation experience of a cultivator completely, and also provides a massive stat bonus. He's now really, really strong for 48 hours. You can either use that for the introduction of somebody into the cultivation very early on, but this is kind of a waste. The best use for that is actually the golden core breakthrough phase, because it makes it a lot better there. But I just realized that I had a mistake in my thoughts there. We can't go for any other law because we didn't start with that, but that's okay. Then he's going to start with the Myriad Artifact law, which is not exactly what I had in mind, but whatever. That's going to be okay for the first thing, because the real powerful incarnation of a artifact creator will come later anyways. So here we go. Cultivator. Boom. Cultivate the Myriad Artifact Law. Oh, that was an achievement on its own. I really love the achievements. I really do love them. They're so cool. One of the reasons why I like to play Immortal Mode. So C2 June is now officially cultivator, so we're going to need a cultivation chamber and all the jazz for him. But before we do anything else, we're going to head over to... Wait a sec. I need to establish my sect first. We're going to adventure over to Pork Town and import some pork, because we really need food. So this is going to be the artifact sect. You know, I'm a very simple man. My sects always have very simple names. So Artifact Cave sounds fun too. Artifact Hill. Artifact Gang. No, really Artifact. You know me, guys. So here we go. We're going to establish our leader for now. That's going to be C2 June. But that's only a temporary thing. So we're going to head over to Nanping Village and rob some pork from these peasants. At the end of the day, we really need that stuff quite desperately. Okay, we're also going to use the training spots over here. We're almost invisible. And we're also going to put up a reward spot, and while we're at it, also a trade area, because I always forget that. It's the first time that I do this before the trader is arriving for the first time. Okay, so these dudes, they don't have any work here, so how's that? Building material. So why do they await material for that thing? Ah, because we're out of timber, I see. So let's establish the sect a little bit more. Oh, we're also out of wood, are we? No, we're not. But, well, we do have somebody as a logger. Every job is assigned. Except for the healer. My goodness. Guys, heal yourselves. Ah, here. Okay, here we go. I was just impatient, that's all. Alright, handcraft station. We need that next. There we go. With that being done, we're going to produce one more timber axe. So we got that nailed down. Alright. So my logging person can now pick up the timber axe. Junju? Do you already have one or not? Okay, you already have one. Never mind then. Okay, so the next thing we're going to need is we're going to need a cultivation chamber. So is that? No, that's very horrible. Fire cultivation room, yeah, cool stuff. These things, they save the basics, so the items on top of those. Okay, whatever. Really should bring up a blank one and save my own blueprint for good. So let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to stick with timber for now. And, of course, we should attack that thing, that tiger. while the mysterious cultivator is still in town. Also, fetch yourself some bows. Here we go. That dude is just going out there, and he's coming to the rescue. Another thing we really need is a stove, but we don't have any stone blocks yet. So, that's another thing we need to get done. So, let's also produce ourselves a pickaxe. And more timber. For now, we're going to make everything with timber. It's okay to timber everything. Okay, here we go. So, equip them bows, my friends, because seriously, this is so dangerous to attack a tiger with bare fists. Somehow, they disagree with me, but not much longer. Okay, here we go. And now, who's my mining person? Yanyun, okay. Get that pickaxe, and now chop out some of that, so we can produce some stoneworks. There we go. Or, well, the stoneworks is not... Making the stoneworks is not the issue, but we need to... We need some material to process at the stoneworks. So C2 June has arrived at Nunping Village. Wonderful. Let's go there and steal the pork. Because cultivators don't care about the immortal beings. They just pick up whatever they want. But what's also going to be a very important thing to do early on, I need to check out if there's any very talented person out there. The starting environment is one of the best areas to check out potential candidates for your sect. Because seriously, you need more people early on. Your little family business that you're starting with is just not cutting it, you know? So therefore, we need to expand. But so far, didn't find anybody. I'm basically only looking for people with a huge chi sense, because we don't look for mere mortals right now. Because honestly, mere mortals, they come into your sect without you asking for them. It's the people with the extremely high chi sense you're looking for. Here we go. So, there's the pork, and home we go. This is a massive stash in terms of food early on. And it's a very easy way to acquire a lot of food this way. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to plunder building blocks. Because you see, there's now food for quite some time. Okay, here we go. Getting the stoneworks done is also a nice thing. So now we can also produce brownstone. Loop that a bit, and wait for that day. Wait for C2 June to come home, and see what we can do there. And after that, we're going to build a cultivation chamber. So, let's see. We're going to build one here. So let's start with the displays for the chi collecting items. First things first. Usual things, and then I'm finally going to save that blueprint for good. So we also need a cushion there. Okay. So we're now going to plunder the neighborhood methodically, you know. What's yours is mine. That's the basic idea of the cultivation world. The more I think about it, the less I like them, but, you know, after all, that's why we're playing games. To do things that we won't do in the real world ever, because we're decent human beings. But sometimes it's very unwinding to pretend to be not a decent human being, you know. Okay, we're gathering spirit wood out of these measures, which is very good. We're going to chop all the trees which yield spirit wood. Also, we're going to send C2 June off to Mount Baron, where we're going to collect ourselves some cotton. I don't know if it's present there at the village itself. We're going to test that out. Alright. Immortal Mode imposes such long traveling times to do adventuring. I really should start building or creating a talisman for him as soon as I can. But right now, this is not an option, so we don't care about that. Okay, there we go. There's the wood we need, and I really got enough timber for that. I'm surprised. Yeah, 60. But let's do some more of that. Let's loop that even 50 times. So my medical supplies are exhausted. Okay, that's bad. So let's see what we can do here. There's herbs growing around these places, and if you just zoom out and double click that, you can harvest a lot of those. There we go. Because that's not cool to have insufficient medical resources. So we got somebody on that job as well. Good. All right. So now with the offcuts present, we're bringing down some flooring here as well. Okay. It looks like everything seems to be okay survival-wise. Let's check out how our people are feeling. Very healthy, very healthy. Mood ain't too horrible. I mean, seriously. Favorable feng shui. Also good. Okay. So we're starting out with spring. Spring is the best time for wood cultivators. No, for fire cultivators to break through to the golden core stage, so that's not too interesting. I should consider a earth cultivator, because summer is coming, and I think I could already bring up a somewhat decent golden core during that time. Or, yeah, well, nothing or. Earth and metal. Wood, earth, and metal. Sounds good. Because wood will be on breakthrough time during winter, so we can actually do some decent things early on here. Okay, neato. So I'm waiting now for C2 June to have exactly one adventure here, which provides me with a cotton. He's on camping. If I would let him longer here, he would have more adventures, but my intention was to be sure that I have the necessary cotton for the cushion, but now I want to enter that place too and see what I can plunder, because after all, there's a good chance that I'll actually find what I need right away in that village. They might even have the fabric I'll need for the cushion. So you can speed up your early game massively with one inner disciple early on. That's why I always use the relatively rare foundation pill very early. There has been some discussion in the comment section in the past about if it's not smarter to train the foundation of your first cultivator hardcore and create your inner disciple a couple of days later, because you can actually force the development of a single person quite heavily, but it will always end up with you waiting for your cultivator a lot longer than I do here. Like here I'm at day 4 and I'm already exploring the world. Day 4 and I'm already on my second adventure. So the issue there is quite obvious. If you wait, you also wait for the option to adventure, and therefore I feel like in this game you can loot such obscene amounts of resources from the world that it's I don't know. I couldn't imagine how the foundation pill is supposed to be that much better than being quick with the cultivation game, you know? Gee, since 25, but the stats are so puny. So therefore, that's my decision foundation. Oh, these stats, but just a horrible cheese sense. You know what? This Yu Sheng dude, we're going to recruit him. He's good at lots of things, and he's going to be a workhorse for our sect. Because we also need outer disciples that just do the work. So I'm running one Click Favour, which is kind of cheesy, but this way we can invite him to our sect, and he's going to join us in a couple of days. This is exactly the kind of person that I want to have as a worker in my sect. He's never going to be eligible for Breakthrough because his chi sense is just too low, and that means his maximum chi will always be very, very puny. But that doesn't matter, because there's always a need for outer disciples in your sect. And handpicking my outer disciples a little bit more is something I wanted to do for this playthrough. You might already notice that I'm playing a little bit differently than usual, because I really want to tidy up my early game a little bit, you know, and do better than before. So here, this is a little bit risky from my side, but I'm going to take every step very, very carefully. There could be monsters here, and that friggin' cultivator wouldn't even care, because for some reason they don't attack him here. So it's really not dangerous to get close to them as long as you immediately run away once you see them. That's why I was playing so slow-mo here. Too bad. I was just hoping that we could plunder some rock essence there, but sadly we can't. So let's see. I don't think that we will get anything else from this visit, but I'm not unhappy. I gained jade, like insane amounts of jade as well. 200 stone blocks of jade will provide us jade blocks to produce very, very neat and beautiful furniture in our home sect with, which is a very strong foundation for us. So altogether, these little things really add up and provide you a lot of early game power. So let's wait until C2 June is back home. There we go. And we'll also need to bring up a loom, I think, because we got cotton, but we ain't got no way to process that. So here's the loom. For now, all my crafting benches stand outside, and that's okay. It's completely okay. Alright. So there we go. Cultivation spot for C2's seeing really a lot of progress here, and so we're going to draw it like that. Going to leave a little bit extra room here, because that's one design I personally really like. Oh, shoot. We can't because the well is interfering. Yeah, well, okay. No problem. That's enough. And of course, this needs a door as well. Otherwise, it would be not too good. Alright, C2 is back home, and we now have super much material to work with. So we can now kick out the brownstone block and just... Why use brownstone when you can use jade, you know? Seriously. Okay, next stop will be Mount Full Moon. So over here we can collect other useful materials, so the procedure will be the same. C2 goes over to the adventuring, and to the camping, I mean, and he's going to collect us some more materials there, which will help us to found our sect here. So the training spots here are not on a good area. Well, here we go. Well, I'm quite happy with everything so far. We have a nice start here. Things are moving forward in an okay tempo. and I'm really, really happy how I utilize my early game so far. So I feel like we got things very much under control. So the stove will be jade right away because, you know, we just have a ton of it. And the nice part about that is this way we'll also have really good looking furniture here. This makes people happy. High quality makes people happy, so we won't suffer from any too big mood problems. It's a little bit weird that the game allows you to work with that high-end material, because jade is basically one of the best earth elemental items to work with. But, you know, I certainly don't mind. Oh shoot. We're at the canyon. I totally forgot. I might have invited a person to death. Oh shoot. Of course. We can't really... Oh no. We can't really bring in people that easily into our sect. I totally forgot that the canyon map has its quirks. Okay, C2 is at this place, and we're now waiting for the first adventure to pop up. Here we go. We gathered some herbs. That's very fine, because there's, you know, I think we need that. Alright. Mount Full Moon will be covered up in the next episode, because this will be a longer endeavor, and I want to wrap it up here. So we're going to settle down, and next episode I'll also check out if I can find the entrance to my map. I was already playing on Canyon, and it's a little bit iffy, but it's also a lot of fun, because you can sculpt the area really well. Okay, so drop your comments down below. I'm hoping you guys enjoy this new project as much as I do, because Immortal Mode is a challenge I always wanted to do. And yeah, feel free to leave me your thoughts about that. Leave a thumbs up on that video to make it more visible on the YouTube, and as usual, you know that I'm doing daily content, so just check out my channel, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss anything there in the future. Beyond that, check out the description box. I have all the mods used in this series listed up there, and also you'll find my Twitch channel profile there. I do regular streams, so you might want to join in. I'd be super happy to have you there. On top of that, you'll also find my Discord server there, where you will find a like-minded community and lots of informational material for ACS as well. And last but not least, I'd be super happy if you have a look on the links I have down there for direct financial support. My video project will always remain free, and I can use every helping hand out there I can get. But rest assured, by watching these videos, you help me already more than you could imagine. Alright, enough of that. I hope you have a wonderful time, and I can't wait to see you again on the Artifact Sect. See you soon. Goodbye.